Alright everyone, RJ here. Welcome back to the channel. So I tried to get this video out before the end of 2023, but I just couldn't get everything together. So we're a couple of days into the new year. That's not going to stop me from telling y'all my favorite phone of 2023 and why. And this phone is the OnePlus 11. Okay, I bought this phone early in 2023 and kept my SIM card in this phone longer than the majority of phones that I have. Okay, I just liked it that much. Now, this phone was very underrated, very overlooked for some reason or another. I still don't understand why, but the Samsungs and the Apples were all in the limelight, and this kind of just got pushed to the side. But in my opinion, this is one of the best flagship smartphones of 2023, and it's my personal favorite. Now, yes, I've not had a whole lot of flagship phones in 2023. I've had several other phones, some mid-rangers throughout last year, but this is overall my favorite phone, and I got some reasons why. And one reason why I'm a little aggravated with it, but that's kind of a small thing. But the OnePlus 11, it sold for a fantastic price at release. Okay, I want to say the price was $699 for the 8 gig 128, and I think it was $799 for the 16 gig 256. So I got the 256 16 gigabyte model here. I traded in a OnePlus 10 Pro, so I got it for about half the price. So even at $799 for the top spec one, it was undercutting basically every flagship out there. And this run the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. I mean, it had everything going for it. And in my personal opinion, it was a fantastic phone. Never had a bit of issue with it. The phone just worked. Got it in do not disturb mode because it always seems to go off when you're trying to make a video. But, I mean, the display is absolutely beautiful. Now, I'm not here to give you all kinds of specs and screen rundowns and benchmarks and all that. I'm just going to basically tell you about the phone and why I liked it so much. And there's a lot of reasons. And number one was the display. The display is beautiful. The phone is extremely smooth. I mean, 120 hertz, of course. And the phone just, runs like butter. I mean, there's absolutely no slowdowns whatsoever. No matter what you put this phone through, it just flies through it with flying colors, basically. I've used this phone as a daily. I've used this as a YouTube phone a few times, recorded a few videos with it, and came out pretty daggone good with those cameras back there with the Hasselblad technology and all that kind of good stuff. So we'll kind of get into some of the camera settings and just show you what you can record in and stuff of that nature here. Won't spend much time there, but this was just such an underrated phone. It kind of got buried by the Galaxy S23 Ultra, and later on when the new iPhones come out, these phones here tend to get buried. Now, you may say, well, you didn't use a new iPhone. You didn't have an S23 Ultra. Well, I have this phone right here, which is the S22 Ultra, which is basically the exact same phone as the 23 Ultra, other than the fact that it's got a 200 megapixel camera and the 8 Gen 2 processor. That's pretty much it. So, if you got an S22 Ultra, you got a 23 Ultra, basically. But that's all I'm going to say about that. This phone was beautiful. Now, I will say the one thing that really kind of irked me was a few days after I got the phone, I got this nasty crack, and I have no idea how it got there. I'm not sure if it was just a weak piece of glass, but I see numerous reports of other users of this green color here with this kind of back with their screen just spontaneously cracking, which is what happened with mine, which is going to make a trade-in value that much less. But I guess it is what it is. But there's no denying this is a very beautiful phone. This phone is compatible with 80-watt charging, and it comes with a charger in the box, and it don't take no time, like 29 minutes to fully charge it from 0% to 100%. And the charger comes into the box, so some other manufacturers can take some notes from OnePlus on that. But the phone, it just works. And when I say it just works, I mean it just works. It's running on Oxygen OS. It's got a lot of nice customization features that you can do with this phone. Now, if you go in here, you will see that we are currently on Android 14 and Oxygen OS 14.0. If I push on this here, we are on the November security patch. So they're a little slow on their security patches, but only really by a month. Because as far as I know, Pixel, OnePlus, they're still on December. As of right now, if I was to check it right now, you're going to see that there's nothing there. But you can see the version that I have here, 5,000 milliamp hour battery, 6.7-inch display, storage here at 256, 8 Gen 2 processor, 5,000 milliamp battery. The cameras, it has a 50 megapixel camera, 48 and 32 megapixel camera on the rear, with a 16 megapixel camera on the front. And these cameras have never disappointed. These cameras have always been very solid, and the phone just works. Battery life has been one of this phone's strong suits, is battery life. I mean, battery life, I get an average of 2 days and around 9 to 10 hours of screen on time. And that's just using it how I use it. Now, everybody's going to be different, but in my personal opinion, this is just this was a very overlooked phone. And over the holidays, they were selling this phone for like $499 or $449. If you took advantage of that deal, you won. I mean, that's just the way I can say it there. I mean, you got a great phone that has everything in the box except for maybe be very, very careful with the back glass. But, there's not much else to say about it. I mean, the phone just works really, really well. And, at a price that it came in at, $799 for the top model, you really, you can't go wrong with this phone. I think it's still worth the buy even now. Now, it's currently back up to the $799 price tag. And the OnePlus 12 is fixing to drop, I think, sometime this month. So if you got the phone already, or if you got like a 10 Pro, maybe wait for the OnePlus 12. Hopefully they will make the screen a little bit more flat. And from what I've seen good things about the OnePlus 12. But I would say overall, my favorite phone of 2023 was definitely the OnePlus 11. I had the Pixel 8, Pixel 8 Pro, really good phones. But there was something about this phone right here that I just liked. Now, going into the camera settings, there is a lot of good features going on here. You got your 0.6 for your ultra wide. You got your 5x zoom that you can go all the way out to 20x zoom. You have all your filters here as well, which will back out of filters. And you got your beauty mode, retouch, and all that kind of stuff. This button down here, not really sure what that does, but it does something. Maybe it's macro mode. I'm not really 100% positive. Got your AI controls up there. Got your settings here. So you got your HDR auto, your intervals, your high res photos. You can, you get your settings here. So some stuff did change on Android version 14. And you can also change all these colors, which is really nice. Got your portrait mode here, which of course you can change your depth of field, which is, of course, what you see on most phones that has that. But you got a lot of stuff here in more like night mode, your movie mode, your time lapse, long exposure, expand, dual view video. And in the video department, you can record the 4K at 60 frames per second, 8K at 24 frames per second, 1080p, 30 and 60. You also have your ultra steady mode, which switches it to 1080p 60. So I don't mind that. I mean, 1080p 60 is good. I'm recording right now in 1080p 60, and you can kind of just see, I mean, all the fabric here with this camera, and how good this camera actually is. It's so solid, and it just does whatever you want it to do. You got your AI mode, AI highlight video on, and your settings there are pretty much the same. So now as far as the front camera goes, all my headsets up there, kind of a cluttered mess, but in video mode you were only able to do 1080p at 30 frames per second, which is a major bummer. I was hoping for at least 60 frames per second in the front, but they just haven't done that yet here, on this phone. But there is just so many good features that goes in with this phone. Is feature packed, and if you decide that you want to buy this phone, I mean, like I said, the best time to have bought it was over the holidays, where they had it for hundreds of dollars off, undercutting everybody. I mean, this was even undercutting some mid-rangers out there, and you were getting a top-notch flagship device. And I know someone's going to be saying, well, it was this and this and this, and there's a lot of excuses about this phone, but to me, it was a top phone. Now, I didn't use a foldable phone this year. I would like to get my hands on the OnePlus Open. That would have just been awesome. But all the other folding phones, I can kind of pass on it. But I didn't use any of those phones this year, and it was some other flagship phones I wish I could get my hands on and try it out, but I just didn't. But this is not my flagship phone of the year, nothing like that. This is just my phone of the year, my favorite phone, the phone that I like using the best. And honestly, if you decide to buy it right now, even though the OnePlus 12 is coming out soon, I would still wait to see what they offer for the OnePlus 12, but this phone right here is superb. And if you own it, you know how good the phone actually is. There's been zero issues with it. Battery life has been great. The processing power has been fantastic. The RAM at 16 gigs plus RAM boost. Let me just see how much RAM boost. I mean, look at the biometrics as well. I mean, the biometrics are just on point. I mean, even face unlock here. I mean, well, let's see. I'm not in behind the camera here. Try that again. Yeah, look at the biometrics there. Face unlock. I mean, it's just fast. And the fingerprint scanner is accurate every single time. OnePlus. OnePlus is, I think, the end with Oppo and all of those. And you know that they are just fantastic when it comes to biometrics. So, in here at RAM Boost, you can add an additional 12 gigs to that 16 gigs, giving it 28 gigs of total RAM. Now, 12 of that is virtual. I got down here to 4. I just don't want to see much of a difference going from 4 to 12. I don't know about all of that. But if you wanted a phone with good battery, a good display, fantastic stereo speakers to get really loud and have really good sound to them, a beautiful display, battery life, I mean, I said that just now, but it's worth saying it again. 2 days easily. It's just a good phone. And I really don't have anything other than this crack here that I have no idea how it got there. I have absolutely nothing negative to say about the OnePlus 11. 80-watt charger in the box. It's an overall good phone. Cameras can hang in there with the best of them. It was just overlooked, and it's a shame. So anyway, that's all I want to say about it. Whatever. Let me know what you think about the OnePlus 11. Do you own it? You considering buying it? You can wait for the OnePlus 12. Let me know down below in the comments section. If you're new around here and not a subscriber, please consider subscribing and turn on that bell for all post notifications, and hopefully YouTube will notify you when I release a new video. Stay tuned for more videos to come. I'm slowly but surely getting back into making more content, so it's going to be kind of slow going here for a little bit, but I'm doing my best to get back into this. a little bit more, and hopefully I can kind of maintain a decent schedule throughout 2024, but we'll see. So anyway, thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see you next time.